right, you guys, we got some very, very interesting content to look at today. I want to start by saying shout out to Rachel Demita. She's been doing her thing. If y'all not subscribed, Courtside Club, it is dope, it's fire. Shout out to Rachel Demita. This is a clip from her interview with Richard Jefferson. This is a clip from her interview with Richard Jefferson. So make sure you go over to Courtside Club and subscribe to Rachel Demita. She does really good work. So yeah, make sure you do that. But we got Richard Jefferson saying, hey, Caitlin Clark changing the league like Magic Johnson did for the NBA before Mike got there. Like, this is some Magic Johnson type stuff where everybody wants to be a part of it. Very, very interesting. And he also talks about some of the things that are going on with the WNBA lockout, this NBA scandal that could have a trickle-down effect to the WNBA. All of this stuff is wild. Let's get into it. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, hype the video, and let's get right into it. Let's take a listen to Richard Jefferson. You know, I used to be a big Richard Jefferson fan when they had Jason Kidd, Kenyon Martin. They was on the Nets. You know what I'm saying? Kerry Kittles. Like, yeah. They got swept in the final spot of Spurs, though. But whatever. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
You've talked a lot about Magic Johnson and how he's impacted and elevated the NBA. Do you feel like Caitlin has done something similar for the W?
Yes, 100%. I think when you look at it, and obviously there's a competitive side. The WNBA is one of the most difficult statistically leagues to play in, right? With the number of roster spots. And so there's an inherent competitiveness that goes on within that. But I think you look at what Steph and LeBron have done for the game. You look at what Magic and Larry did for the game. You look at what Jordan carried. There's so many. If you look at the course of NBA history, there's blocks of times where superstar players moved it forward, right? And so I think when you look at what Caitlin Clark and really the rivalries that started in college.
Listen, man, Caitlin Clark is the first college player where it's like her actual fan base translated over. Like, there was plenty of great UConn players and their fan base did not translate over to the league. Majority of, like, I watched a lot of women's college basketball, but I didn't keep up with them once they got to the league. It was kind of like they disappeared and fell off the face of the earth outside of like Diana Taurasi, Maya Moore, but there was other girls, you know what I'm saying? Christy Tolliver, Ivory Ladd, I like Elena Beard, but it was just kind of like Caitlin Clark is the first one with enough star power to where her star power travels no matter where she goes. WNBA, NFL game, a baseball game. If she go golfing, her fan base translates. We haven't seen this, and neither has Richard Jefferson. Let's keep listening to him.
Jordan carried. There's so many. If you look at the course of NBA history, there's blocks of times where superstar players moved it forward, right? And so I think when you look at what Caitlin Clark and really the rivalries that started in college and Angel Reese and those games, that buzz from college brought that energy to the WNBA. Very similar to how the rivalry between Magic and Larry brought that rivalry to the NBA, and then it continued to grow. So, you know, what Caitlin Clark has done.
I do have to say this, Richard. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese is not a rivalry. Angel Reese is not nearly a good enough basketball player to be a rival of Caitlin Clark. I'm sorry, the girl's just not good enough. And that is why people be letting her know, yo, you missing all these layups. Your team, you quitting on your team. You're not finishing those seasons. Like, she's just not a good enough player to be a rival of Caitlin Clark. I'm sorry.
What this entire women's group has done has been very, very impressive. And it's like you're proud, right? As a hooper, it's like I'm proud that they're getting the attention that they deserve. I'm proud that people are starting to recognize that they are some of the most talented hoopers on the planet. And you know, sometimes it takes a moment, but you know, they all figure it out.
You talked about Caitlin and Steph. Do you think that they've ruined the youth game?
No,
I'm just kidding.
I didn't know. I kid you not. It's like we can't. Yes, the 3-point shot is something that kids feel that they can do. Right? Shaq didn't ruin a game because everybody was trying to dunk. It's just something that makes them very, very relatable. But I think that they've helped grow the game. Right? Wimby would not be shooting, 35-foot threes had Steph not made it acceptable. Now all of a
Yeah.
sudden we have a 7'5" guy that's doing it. And now we're like, that's ruined the game. Because it's like, well, we can't. Normally, this man would be training how to do a hook shot. Now he's out here practicing tweens and around the backs and 35-foot. Like, come on. So that's the stuff that I think is funny when you kind of watch the progression of the sport. But Mel, I think that they just evolved the game, and I think the game has evolved before. We talked about Shaq changing the equipment. We saw Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Bill Walton. They weren't allowed to dunk because it was going to be a.
Okay, speaking of
I mean, yeah. Caitlin Clark and Steph Curry have definitely changed the game forever. Man, you got girls, man. It's girls in high school, man. It's a girl go by the nickname of Special K, Kalia. They call her Special K. She pulling up from 35, 40 feet like Caitlin Clark in high school. Like, so her impact on the game is definitely really, really big. Let's take a look at what Richard Jefferson had to say on the WNBA lockout.
ladies in this CBA.
I would tell them to trust their instincts. I think, obviously there's been a lot of criticism about the commissioner. And there's been that obviously that dynamic between, the league and the players. And look, I've seen enough stories and been a part of them, and David Stern, and the commissioner works for the owners, right? If you're not happy with the commissioner, that's another topic.
See, that's what the players aren't realizing. Kathy's not your friend. She's not even like, she works for the owners. She's not on the players' side of this. The way she keeps her job is by getting a deal that the owners want, not to be sending y'all birthday muffins and like that.
Right? Don't get so fixated on that. That is the person that works for the league. They're trying to do what's best for the owners. You have the head of your players association, and they're trying to do what's best for the players. And the job is to come together and meet in the middle. And I believe that the Players Association on the women's side, I think they have great leadership, and I think they'll end up coming together with a term. Now, we already know that there's going to be a significant increase. We know that. But their job is really to fight for every percentage, every inch, every drop that they can, because they all have a window of playing time over the course of their career. So they should be stubborn on a level, but also I think that they should, also be open-minded. And so that's one of those ones where they have to meet in the middle. And I think the women have great leadership, and I think they'll get what they deserve.
They gotta be willing to meet in the middle. That's what he said. So you're not gonna get every little nook and cranny that you're asking for, but you still can get a really good CBA, and one that moves things in the right direction for the next CBA. Shout out to Rachel Demita, Courtside Club. Always got some dope interviews. So shout out to her for her work. Richard Jefferson, man, good perspective on this, man. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think about this. Keep the vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.